Are you looking to make your next event sizzle? Then you want to get in touch with Lee Entertainment. Mark Lee, the founder of Lee Entertainment, has worked with such notable festivals as the Art of Cool, the National Black Theater Festival, the Bull Durham Blues Festival, and the Durham Centerfest, as well as the Festival of the Eno. And it definitely can provide you with some great entertainers as well as help you make your event sizzle if you're looking forward to trying to have an event in your town. Mark Lee is willing to travel anywhere in this country to make your event sizzle and has entertainers that are also willing to travel as well. So if you're looking for quality entertainment, definitely get in touch at bluesradio@gmail.com.
And now for our feature presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
You're listening to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. Call in to join the conversation at 646-668-8393.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. It's the six-man Dean Geronimo in the studio with Mark Lee. We welcome you to yet another exciting episode of our show. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to another Monday night here at Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. It's the six-man Dean Geronimo, and as always from NJ to NC, I'm in the studio with my man Mark Lee. So Mark, tell me what's good in your neck of the woods, my brother.
Well, it's all nice and quiet here. They're talking about some rain, and some people are worried that it might turn into something else like snow or something like that. I don't believe them. But, you know, the government is operating now, so that's a good thing. We got the government operating for, I believe, 3 weeks, and that's all they're going to do, and then they might go back on strike again. There's no telling the government. You know, they like to be in place 1 minute and then out of place the next. So we'll see whether they stay in government or whether they go elsewhere. And, of course, people still talking about Silent Sam down here in North Carolina. And then I've been keeping busy with different things going on. Went to a TABJ meeting, Triangle Association of Black Journalists. I had not been to one of those in a while, but me and Brother Lewis, we went from Skyhawk, we went and checked it out, had a chance to introduce him to some people connected with that. So we've definitely been rocking and rolling. I know some people went to Raleigh to the African American cultural event that they do every January. It's kind of the kickoff every year in North Carolina. The Black History Month is held in the usually the last weekend of January before all the activities in February. Of course, we're getting ready for the film festival at Hayti and get ready for a lot of other things that are going on in the community. We got an art opening at Hayti as well. As a matter of fact, they'll have their grand reception on this Friday, so it'll be a lot of African American artists from this area will be showing their work. So we just keeping things rolling and going here in Durham like we always do.
Durham always has something going on, man. And shout out to Lewis from the Skyhawk Radio Network, where our show will actually replay on Tuesdays between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. So we look forward to your support ongoing, and you can hear the show again if you choose to do so. You know what I mean? But, man, I've been watching this thing that's going on in the news right now, probably more so on Facebook. And you have individuals who are now starting to research Kamala Harris, you know, and some of it's favorable, some of it's not. But we got folks just going back and forth like, you won't stand behind this person, or you. I mean, people have free will, right? So
totally.
Does that mean just because, you know, like just because of these few things right here, it's supposed to be automatic support, or is it supposed to be for these things right here, it's automatic non-support. And I think we, again, get all emotional. The election isn't even this year. Is it this year? Nah.
The election, the new person will come into office on 2020. So the election actually will be this year. The election will be November of, no, is that right? No, the election will be November of 2020, and they will come into office on actually 2021.
Right. So we have a whole year and 10 months before we actually go to the polls and cast our vote for whomever we want to be the president. And folks are talking about this like it's going to happen in April or May. And it's like, all right, check this out. For everybody that I'm interested in, I'm going to go dig and see what I find. The person with the least amount of dirt is who I'm voting.
I actually heard an interesting theory that you might find interesting. There was somebody there that they follow politics as well, and they actually do not think that Trump is going to run. They think that he'll either get indicted or get in some other sort of trouble. And they are actually speculating that Nikki Haley, I believe is her name, the woman from South Carolina, UN ambassador, that she may wind up being the candidate for the Republican Party. And I thought that would be really interesting because, she does come off as a moderate. She has been friends, I believe, with Cory Booker, and they've worked on some things together. So if that was the case, could it be that the Republicans actually elect the first woman president in the country ever? Because I do think that she has some moderate views that might be appealing to some people. So it's going to be really interesting. Just like I think that Castro has some views that are going to be really interesting. I don't know that some people are going to be able to get past the name because, he's got the same name as a famous person from Cuba. So I don't know if people are going to be able to get past that. But when I read what he's all about, sounds like he's got some very interesting viewpoints and some things that people could get behind. But I do know that folks sometimes get hung up on names and things of that nature. So it'll be interesting. I have heard that Bernie, I think, has either announced or is about to announce that he's going to throw his name in the hat. And I've heard some people say that they do not want his name in the hat because they feel that he has had his run and that his run is not was that run and that he doesn't need to try it again. And I'm sure there's some people that feel the same way about Biden, that they've already had their shot in glory and now they need to step out and let some other people get out there and try their luck.
Well, you know what? I mean, Bernie Sanders did the flip-flop move on us last time. Is he really going to follow through this time or what, Yeah. And it's easier, I guess, for a lot of people, they're either one party or the other. And then there's the rest of us who are independent voters. So we're going to vote whomever appeals to my interest and how it relates to the whole. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote the line because I don't have a line to vote. I'm not going to vote because a person is black or they said a couple of things that you want to hear. Who's going to actually follow through and make these things happen? That's what's the most important.
That is the key question, and that's the most important question. And then for those of you that are wondering about the Mueller probe, today, about an hour ago, the acting Attorney General says that the Mueller probe is close to being completed. Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into potential coordination between Russia and the Trump campaign is close to being completed, the acting Attorney General said Monday. Speaking at an unrelated news conference in Washington, acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker said he had been fully briefed on the Special Counsel's investigation. He began overseeing the probe after former Attorney General Jeff Sessions resigned at President Donald Trump's request. So he's saying that he was looking forward to Mueller delivering his report. And, of course, this all deals with Russia's interference in the 2016 election. And there are folks that have, Whitaker has drawn criticism over his decision not to recuse himself from the Russian investigation, even though a top Justice Department ethics official advised him to step aside out of an abundance of caution. So it's still playing out with all of this going on with that. But they are saying that we might hear an actual report. The thing has been going on for a while, and we've been looking for a report, but we might actually get one.
And what will that report actually say?
That's going to be the key question.
Right. I mean, what? I just want to know.
And how much of what it says, and how much of what it says will folks actually be meaningful, and how much of it is going to be fluff stuff that will possibly let folks off the hook or whatever. But it's going to be interesting to see whether any of this stuff actually has any sort of meaning.
Right. Don't feed us junk and tell us it's healthy.
Exactly. Don't feed us some junk food and tell us it is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Right. And then
you know there would be some people that would do that.
Oh, they do it all the time. And then they'll say, well, you know, the results of the investigation found that, and everything after that is a bunch of crap. And then you're sitting there wondering, like, well, what did y'all do while you were investigating? You know, what were you really looking at?
Because they spent a lot of money on all of this. They spent a whole lot of money, so it'd be really interesting to see whether any of this money was worth what they spent or whether it was just, like you said, a lot of hot air and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. And nobody wants to hear that shit, man. And I say it just like that because it's a bunch of crap. And when you finally peel back what's supposed to be there, and you look at it, you're like, oh, did we really fall for the okie doke? So we're sitting there listening to all of this, and you said absolutely nothing. He's still going to be in the same place, the same way the Republicans thought years ago that impeaching Bill Clinton was going to do something. Well, they impeached him, and he was still in office. That word really carries no weight. You know, that word impeach is just an action, but it doesn't mean removal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean removal. So
does not mean removal in the least bit.
Right. So if you're not talking about removal, what exactly are you talking about? I don't need a feel-good story. I need you to say, you know what, we're going to go after this person for what they did, and these are the consequences. But when you are part of the in crowd, when you have the means monetarily and connection-wise, then not a lot really happens to it.
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. But, you know, another thing that people have been talking about in the world is immigration. And apparently the world, you know, maybe not the U.S. and definitely not Donald Trump, but apparently the world is largely open to immigration and multilateral cooperation. There was a new opinion poll published by the World Economic Forum, and it says that Americans and South Asians are the most welcoming of the immigration concept. Only 1 in 3 U.S. citizens are convinced, however, that hard-working poor people can become rich. And the survey questioned 10,000 people from around the world. They've done this particular group is known for hosting economic summits in Switzerland, and they had people from all over the world, and they had some interesting stuff. It says a global majority of respondents, 57%, said they believed immigrants were mostly good for their adopted country, although there were some strong regional variations. The most welcoming region to immigration were North America, 66%, and South Asia, 72% of those, as stating that people coming to the country were mostly good. However, only 40% of Eastern Europeans and 46% of those living in Western Europe held the same opinion. When asked if their own country had a responsibility to help other countries, South Asia also came out on top with 94%. Oh, that's almost the whole country agreeing with the statement.
Wow.
It says the WEF report said the global average of the statement was 72%, but North Americans, despite their openness to immigration, were the least likely to help other countries, with just 61% agreeing. So it looks like we got some work to do on immigration, too. It says the third question asked if upward mobility in society was elusive revealed a highly skeptical view of social progress. As few as 1 in 5 Europeans believe a poor person can become rich through hard work. In the United States, you know, the land of the American dream, respondents were marginally more positive, with 34% believing that upward mobility is possible. So there's a lot of folks that are thinking that upward mobility is not possible. And, you know, after I had this conversation last week, I think it was last week after our show, it might have been the week before, with a young lady. You know, we talked about gentrification on this show before, and there was a young lady that I met that is living in a one-bedroom apartment with a partner. I did not ask her what that meant, whether that was